My name's Chris Davis, and this morning it's like a public service announcement this is going to be. I work for Jaguar and Land Rover, and there's a new product called the Range Rover Evoque, and it's got a new suspension system on it called Magne. Now this is going to be on all manufacturers' cars, and you're going to see it on the blurb on the television. It's going to say it has Magne. Now I'm going to tell you what it is, very, very briefly, in my 15 minutes. I'll just hand out these. Can I just put one next to the laptop for you, Kirsty? Just so you can see it. If I'm just going to pop it down here. There you go. Stroke it. Nicely done. Right, I brought in toys. I nicked this off my son this morning, bless him. Right, there's different characteristics on a car of when it goes over bumps and things like that, in order to alter its ride height and its ride and stability control. It goes on that front sort of page on there about the stability of the vehicle. With Land Rovers, they're quite tall products. This thing is slightly exaggerated, but they're tall products, so when it comes to going into a corner or over bumps, you get an element of bounce and rock and roll on the vehicle. Now, what they're trying to do now with all cars is make them more dynamically stable. So what they've done is, or what all vehicles have always had, they've had shock absorbers on the back, these nice big red things sticking down there, and they give you that bounce, but the idea is that once they come back up again, they don't continue to bounce. So they absorb the shocks as the vehicle's moving down the road. Now, a normal one, slightly miniaturised, will look like that. And if you push them, you can just feel that there is some form of spring inside them. Pass that one around. Have we all driven here this morning?
Yes.
Yeah. Except for you, of course. Are you at home?
She got a line in, didn't she?
You at work?
Yeah.
Boo. You should have done this from home. That would be much better. But so, as far as the shock absorber goes, inside of a conventional shock absorber, what you have is you'll have oil inside of this unit, and it will pass through a valve in the centre. Now, as the vehicle goes over a bump, it will effectively be pushed to and from, and there will be an element of resistance. I'll just pass that one around. Like that one?
Yeah.
Well, what the next step along from this one is this one sort of goes back to good old school days. Can you remember when we used to have the magnet underneath a piece of paper with the iron filings, and it used to make the nice shapes of the North and South Pole and everything like that? Well, what they've done inside of here is that within the liquid or within the oil, they've put in their iron filings. And what you do then is you simply supply the shock absorber with a small electrical current to an electromagnet, or in my case this morning, just a magnet. So if I put that by the side of it, what you then get is nothing at all on that one. It should be quite hands-on, Kirsty, I'm sorry. There you go. It is. But that's not going to help us just by putting a straightforward magnet to it, because that's made that too stiff, hasn't it? Now the idea is what we want this vehicle to be able to do, and I say this will go across to other systems as well, is we want it to have that ability to make it so as, if we're driving it gently, we'll have a soft ride, but if we want to sort of drive it hard round corners, nice and fast and all the rest of it, the ride will stiffen up. So what we can do is we just alter the magnetic field to there. So if you move it slightly further away, you'll start to feel it stiffen, but if you take it away, it relaxes again. So you get that feeling of stiff suspension to rock hard suspension. So just by sending a small electrical current to an electromagnet, it will give it that effect. So if you just move it to and from. I know That's definitely cheating, that is it. What you...
That's engineering.
It is, that's good, that. Kirsty Ian's cheating. He's putting it on the table, but he's holding it down and supporting it.
Thank you.
That's definitely not good. Right, so what we're going to have with this then is hard and soft settings, which is going to add to its stability and control. There was previous systems around to this which just had a mechanical valve in there. But the thing about having a mechanical valve is you've got something that's possibly going to fail, whereas this is purely just a magnet, and magnets will stay magnetic with an electrical current in them for life. So what you've got is a very fast and responsive system to stiffen up the shock absorbers very, very quickly. So when it comes to going into a bend, instead of what would happen, the vehicle will roll over like that, what's now going to happen is it will sense it through height sensors on the four corners of the vehicle that the vehicle is going to start to roll. It will send an electrical current to the shock absorber. Instead of allowing it to do that, what it will do is it will stiffen it up so that it does nothing. Now again, with this, as it is in this format, you think, it's never going to move. You get 2 tons of vehicle on the top of it, and it will be able to move beyond that. So you'll still have that feeling of suspension, but you won't get that vehicle rollover on bends. And so for those people who like to drive fast around bends and all the rest of it, they'll be able to set it to a sport mode, because when it comes into corners, they'll also get that feeling of very stiff suspension. That is, you've got to enhance it. You know, like the person does off the beginning of X Factor. Magne, right. It's the only reason I wanted to do this, was just to say, ladies and gentlemen, now this is Magne Ride. That was all I wanted to do, actually. But hopefully, so what it does is give you a sort of a brief insight into something that you will see it on all sorts of blurb whenever you go to buy a car. You always see these acronyms that come up and you're like, what's that? What is that? I don't know. But say hopefully what that's done is just giving you a very, very brief insight into the use of Magne Ride on a Land Rover product. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
The equivalent of iron filings in there, I know they'll be very, very tiny.
Very, very tiny, yeah.
Are they likely to cause extra wear in the shock absorber compared to a normal?
Very good point. No.
No.
They are very, very minute,
Right.
but the way in which they're done, as soon as the magnet goes across like that, their molecular structure is designed to form a line.
Right.
So when that comes up to the valve, which won't be a metal valve, it'll be like a rubber valve inside, so it'll get that allowance.
Right.
You won't get that wear as it passes through.
Okay.
And then as soon as the magnet's taken away, the molecular structure all falls back into separate molecules.
Right.
Sorry, far too technical. But all, yeah, molecules and bits. But yeah, that's the plan of it anyway. And it has been around for a while, but it's a new thing for Land Rover.
Right.
Magne Ride.
That doesn't want new car, so that means I won't have it. I'm gutted.
We'll just have to wait.
I'll wait for the next upgrade.
Yeah, when you go again, you can say, look, has
Will
it
it
got
be
Magne
available?
Ride?
To all cars.
It will be. I think it will come on to near enough everything. So yeah, everything's going to have this system because it's very, very simple. And why no one's thought about it before, I don't know.
Or is it
Because
not
it is that
just
simple.
more for sporty
No, I think it will come across to.
four-wheel drive cars?
I think it will come across to almost everything.
And think of, technically wise, would it help with snow and ice and things like that? Because we get very nervous in this country about driving on snow and ice because we haven't got the right tyres for it. So would that help at all with the slipping, sliding, anything like that?
Possibly, but the main thing about it is it's going to be for speed,
Right.
which hopefully we won't be doing
Yeah, not
in
at all,
the UK in the
basically.
snow.
Well,
Judging
It's
some
all
people,
about size, isn't
yeah,
it?
judging the way some people drive, I'm not sure if that would be the case or not. That's great. Thank you very much.
thank you.